Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you. I love you all.
Yeah, hello everyone. It's me again. Yeah, I've been under the weather. I still have a scratchy throat, and it's difficult to talk for a period of time. And it's keeping me awake. I'm not getting a good night's sleep. But it seems to be improving, hopefully. But anyway, I've got an important topic I'd like to talk about. Driving in the Philippines. Do you really want to drive here in the Philippines? I don't recommend it, especially if you've not been living here for a while. I've been driving here for 13 years. I've been very lucky. Traffic here is very crazy. Rules don't apply, even though they got them. It's not uncommon for a vehicle or motorcycle to just turn right in your path. Not uncommon at all. It's not uncommon for you driving and going around a curve and there's something coming in on your side, counterflowing, passing another vehicle right in the middle of a curve. If you've been driving, you know what I'm talking about if you live here. A whole family on a motorcycle come out of nowhere. I'm talking about 4 or 5 people on a motorcycle. It's not unusual. Tricycles, it ain't unusual for one to just cut across the front of you, trying to grab that peso for someone flagging them down. Excuse me. That's what I'm talking about, my cold. Intersections, it ain't uncommon for vehicles come, they cut it catty corner, and they come in on your side. Or you'd be getting ready to make a right turn, and here comes a motorcycle up beside you on the right side. In other words, you got to pay attention at 360 degrees all the time. You can't indulge in a comfortable conversation. If you do, you're going to have problems. Or you get ready to make a left turn, and here they come up on your left side and then just cut you right off. That happens on a regular basis. No, like I said, I've been driving here since I've been here, 13 years, and I'm still not used to it. And that's another reason I wouldn't buy a brand new vehicle in this country. Especially if you live any distance from a dealership. If you're involved in an accident and the vehicle is still fairly new, more than likely you'll have to have it repaired at a dealership. And I don't know, I've never experienced it, if the insurance, full coverage, pays the dealership directly. I don't know that answer. I've not experienced that. And I've not heard anybody say. But I'm assuming, if that's the case, even if they pay directly, are they going to have that new fender or trunk lid or hood if it's damaged? Probably not. And they have to order it from country of origin. And that could take some time. So you're going to be without a vehicle. And now, if you're wondering why I wanted to talk about driving in the Philippines, I'll tell you why. 3 days ago, I'm sorry I couldn't tell you sooner, but it's just almost impossible for me to talk about it. Grace and I was on our way to our local market. And I was driving like I always do, very cautious, always. We go through Bagolini's, and we don't use that particular market because it don't have what we need. And it's always congested there, so I take my time and go through there because you never know when someone's going to step out in front of you, or a vehicle will just pull out and don't even look. You never know. So you have to be very, very cautious. We go by that, and about another half mile, or a little over, we go by the local public cemetery. And as we passed that, it was crowded. It was on a Monday, by the way. That's why it was crowded. I think the first Monday of the month is when they do their cemetery visits. So we took our time through there, and I got down, maybe 300 foot past it. And this tricycle, loaded with scrap metal with one piece that was probably 30 foot long on top of it, and he cuts across in front of me. So I slowed down. I was at enough distance where I just had to slow down and wait for him to get off the road. And all of a sudden, boom! Grace said, "What broke?" I said, "We just got hit." And I moved probably roughly about 75 to 100 foot away from the impact before I come to a complete stop. I was still moving when he hit me. He was getting up and picking his motorcycle up when I exit the van, set the brake on it and so forth, turn on the emergency flashers. And there was a young kid. He was skin up, not bad, but he was scared to death. He was cleanly dressed, not expensive, just normal attire. And I was close enough to him that if he would have been drinking, I would have smelled it. But I smelled no alcohol. And another motorcycle was pulled up with a lady on it, and she said she seen the whole thing. And you're wondering what I did. Well, Grace talked to the kid in her native language. And the translation was, no license and no registration. That's common. Very common. Now, I could cause this kid a great deal of problems. He probably would have went to jail. He couldn't afford to bail himself out. The motorcycle would have been impounded. He wouldn't have been able to afford to get the motor out of impoundment and do the correct registration and everything, and get his driver's license. Plus the hassle that Grace and I would have to do dealing with the police. It would be time consuming, and we're constantly busy just about every day with things that we need to do to keep our household running in an orderly fashion. Me and Grace stepped aside and we talked about it. And the kid was just flat scared to death. I told Grace, I said, to our best interest, I know our van is damaged. I'll show you a picture of it. I said, it's best to let this kid go on about his way, and hopefully he learned the lesson. Now, you wonder why I did that. Well, I've been in here long enough to know we could have caused the kid a lot of problems. And why should I cause a human being to have a lot of problems? I know I'm going to get comments that say I should have done this and should have done that. But I don't drive a brand new vehicle. Now I've already got a replacement tail light, brand new, roughly, time to do the math, I'm sorry, about $13, something like that. That included shipping. I've already got it on hand. I'm getting probably go today and have it replaced. Now the bumper is bent. I'm going to try to have them straighten it the best I can. And I'll try to get some of the black mark from the tire off. I don't know how much success I will have at it. Now I can replace that bumper. And believe it or not, it wouldn't be that expensive. Including the light, getting the bumper, having it painted to match my vehicle again. Now it is used, the bumper would be. I've already found one. And I can do this for probably about $200. Now if that had been a new vehicle, how much would it cost? I had a friend of mine, this happened a few years back. I was probably been about 7 years, maybe 8 years ago, somewhere in that area. And he bought a new Toyota Camry. He was so proud of it. And he hadn't had it 6 months. He was sitting at a red light. The motorcycle come through the red light and hit him dead head on. The guy was injured and done considerable damage. The grill and the front hood had to be replaced. And my friend took the guy to court. No driver's license, no registration, and the motor didn't even belong to him. I'm not going to tell you exactly what happened. He ended up having to have his own vehicle fixed. Of course, his insurance paid for it, and I don't know how that actually worked, if they paid the dealership. But he was without a vehicle for 2 months. He had to go buy a motorcycle so he could go to work. And that's what I know about driving here in the Philippines. Now my vehicle's still drivable, no problems. But it gives me another reason I would not buy brand new. I know some people complain about the surplus vehicles because they have to do repairs. Well, the repairs are cheap, and you're only replacing the wear items. You only replace suspension parts and so forth. It depends on the kilometers on it or mileage. You won't have to replace bearings, brakes, things of that nature. Normal things if you kept a vehicle for that period of time. And that's basically what I've experienced. I've about got my vehicle in condition now, other than suspension parts, where I live. My stabilizer links, about 1.5 years is about the life of it. And where I live on this dusty road, the way the tensioner bearing is made, about 18 months, it gets the life of it. That's been my experience with my little vehicle. But as far as mechanical issues or transmission or engine, no problem. And over that period of time, I've spent probably maybe $600. $18 months. Of course, I put quite a few kilometers on it. I put $34,000. So, do the math. I could buy, if I bought a vehicle of equal size, I probably could buy 5 of them, if not more. So what do you think? Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like to repair vehicles. They just don't like the idea of it. But if you find yourself, I recommend at least 2 good places to get repair work done. You need at least 2, so you can don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, which I have done. Then if you're buying used, or surplus as they call it, you need to find places that you can buy your parts. But sometimes locally, it's just too expensive. Now I have found several sources to get parts from our little van. And that's why it's been cheap to fix. I've known about most of my parts have been brand new. So, there you go. But driving in the Philippines, it's a gamble. I'm an experienced driver. I've been driving since I was 12 years old. But that doesn't guarantee anything. You come from a developed country, you get so accustomed to everybody following the rules that here it's different. It's chaotic. I don't know how the other way to explain it, but it's very chaotic. They have no respect for life. So, with that said, if you're going to drive here, I wish you the best of luck. And please, listen. You can't take your mind off of driving. You can't have a comfortable conversation while driving. And we listen to music while we're driving, but we keep it at a comfortable level. There's a reason for that. Because they use their horn here as a driving tool. That's something that's hard to get used to. It took me many years before I felt comfortable tooting my horn. But anyway, that's enough said about driving. Folks, if you're going to drive here, please be careful. Please be aware of your surroundings. And keep your speeds at a moderate, under controlled conditions. I know the limitations of my little vehicle from my previous years of driving experiences, and I know the braking capabilities and so forth. And you don't want to exceed the safety margin where you can come to a good stop. Considering the size of your vehicle, the weight and so forth, and how you're loaded. I got a load of passengers, I'll just be honest with you. I drive much slower because I know my braking is, if I come to a panic stop, will be longer at higher speeds. So I try to drive to where I can hopefully keep my family safe. Again, good luck if you drive, and please stay 100% focused and don't do anything that would distract your attention to driving. Y'all take care now, and I really appreciate everybody watching. And y'all, I'll see you again, and hopefully I get better at this and won't be coughing so much. And thank you.